28th foul on Card Sharks. And here's the host of Card Sharks, Jim Perry.
Hello there. Welcome to Card Sharks. Thank you so much for joining us. And thank you for joining us at home. Thank you. And a very inventive opening poem. We thank Albert E. Thompson of Staten Island, New York for that poem. Thank you, Albert. And now let's open the board and get to the cards. Janice and Bettine, if you will, start loading in the cards. We have a game in progress with these Card Sharks. Becky Greenfield, our champion. Hi, Beck.
Hello, nice to be back.
Good. Won't you tell us again about yourself?
Okay, my name is Becky Greenfield. I'm from Cerritos, California. I have a wonderful husband and a sweet little boy. And I work for the city of Bellflower as a recreation and arts and crafts specialist. And I'm one of triplet daughters.
And I've got to ask you, talking about your wonderful husband. Now, you won our last show.
Oh, was he excited?
$11,600 on one show, and your husband didn't know about it.
I know.
What was his reaction when you told him?
I can't believe it. I can kind of believe it. I don't know what to say. You know, he was just
But he was happy, huh?
Yes.
Good. Nice to see you again, Beck. And our challenger was Willie Boston. Hi, Boston. You prefer being called, right?
Right.
Boston. Why don't you remind us about yourself, Boston?
Okay, Jim, my name is Willie Boston. I'm originally from the state of Louisiana, living in the city of Los Angeles now. I'm a school teacher for the Pomona Unified School District, and I always tell anyone that I'm the best teacher that I know. And the grades that I teach is history and sociology.
How do you know you're the best teacher?
Well, once a year, we elect the Teacher of the Year. And I've been lucky enough to win it right down the years for the past 5 or 6 years.
Oh,
so that tells me that, and this has been elected by the students.
That's very good. Good to have you back.
Thank you.
Good luck to both of you. Each player has a deck of 52 playing cards. They're shuffled. The players cut them before we go on the air. And Becky, the champion, plays the upper cards, the red cards. Boston, the challenger, the lower cards, the blue cards. Before you can begin calling high-low on the cards, you must win a high-low toss-up question. And as we left off, Boston, the question goes to you. Best 2 out of 3. We're in the middle of game 1. We asked 100 women, have you ever left a beauty salon in tears because of the way your hair turned out? How many women said, yes, they have?
I think there have been quite a few who have left in tears because the hair didn't turn out right, but I would say at least 37 left in tears.
37 left in tears, the way their hair turned out, Becky.
I've done that more than once, and I know it's a lot higher than that.
Higher than that?
Yes.
If it is higher, Becky, you'll go to the board first. If not, it'll be Boston. And the actual number of women who have left a beauty salon in tears because of the way their hair turned out is 55. It's higher, Becky. Yes. Becky, we left off with a jack as your base card. Whenever you win the question, you have the right to change it.
I'm going to keep that, and I'm going to bet the next card is lower.
Lower than a jack, she says, and she's right.
That's a good
3.
card! All right! Okay, the next card's higher than a 3.
Risking that one and this one higher. Yes, another jack.
Okay, the next card's lower.
Gonna take the risk, lower than a jack. It is 3. Jack 3, jack 3.
Higher!
Go for the bundle for the first game in the match. If this is higher, yay! And just like that, the champion is game 1 and $100. Game 2 coming up in a moment. Right now, let's make a little money for the house. Don't go away. And we're back with the champion leading 1-0. Set up for game 2. Same 2 decks of cards. And the question goes to you, Becky. We asked 100 married women, have you ever said to your husband, you don't love me anymore? How many married women have said,
I think there's a lot of insecure women around. I think it's going to be pretty high. I'd say 74.
74 women have said, you don't love me anymore, Boston.
I think there are quite a few women who have made that statement, but I'm going to say just a little lower than 74.
A little lower.
Right.
All the women out there saying higher, higher.
They know.
The actual number of married women who have said to their husband, you don't love me anymore is 55. It's lower. Yes. Only 55.
Right.
Boston, your base card is a king.
Well, I'll keep that one, Jim. The next card is lower.
Lower than a king. Yes, the 10.
I'm going to freeze.
Freeze it right there. We moved the freeze bar over.
Right.
Can't take those cards away from you. Boston, we asked 100 men. If you were seated next to a nun, now picture this one. If you were seated next to a nun on a long plane flight, there she is in her black and white habit, and the only magazine you had with you was Playboy. Would you be too embarrassed to read it? How many men said they would be too embarrassed to read Playboy in front of the nun?
Well, on a long trip like that, they would probably be embarrassed for a while, but then it would wear away. I still say that the number would be probably about 47.
47 would be too embarrassed to read Playboy
I
in front
think
of
it's
the
a
nun.
lot higher than that.
You say higher than that?
Yes.
The actual number of men who would be too embarrassed to read Playboy is 47, right on the button. Wow. My goodness. You've got a 10. You want it.
Come on, I would like to change that card.
And you can. You won the question, changing the 10 to 0 and 8. Not a good change. You're right up the middle.
Okay, I'm going to say the next card is lower.
Lower than an 8? No, it's a jack. And it's not lower. And we just take you back to the freeze bar, and Becky gets a chance to play a queen.
Good card. Lower.
Lower than a queen? That's a jack.
Higher. I mean lower.
I mean, I'll go higher if you want, Becky.
No, you know what I meant.
Lower than a jack? Yes, a 6.
I'm going to freeze.
Freezing with that one card advantage will fill in the space for Boston there. I did a double take. Higher? Really?
That was a tough.
Becky, we asked 100 women. Would you wear a pair of painfully tight shoes if they made you look really great? How many women said they would wear
I have them on right now.
Oh, yeah? Let me see the shoes. They don't look come over here so we can... They don't look painfully tight.
Well, they're not super comfortable. I have some better ones.
Oh, okay. Well, how many said they would wear the painfully tight shoes besides you?
72.
72 would wear the tight shoes to look good, Boston.
I think the pain would overshadow the good looking here, so I'm going to say it would be probably just a little lower.
Little lower.
Right.
Yeah, comfort first.
Comfort.
The actual number of women who would wear painfully tight shoes if they made them look really great is 19. It's much lower, Boston.
Right.
Do you want that 8?
No, please. Take that away.
2, a 4. Good
Okay,
chance.
that's better. The next card is higher.
Higher than a 4. Yes, a 6.
Okay. The next card is higher.
Higher than a 6. It is a
All
jack.
right. The next card is lower.
To tie up the match, lower than a jack.
Yes.
Tie it up. And we are tied at 1-1. We'll set up for the tiebreaker. Each player with one game and $100. And up on the board for the tiebreaker, just 3 questions here, 3 cards there. Question to you, Boston. We asked 100 people. If the FBI asked to use your house to spy on your next-door neighbors, would you let them?
Boy, that's a tough.
How many people said they would let the FBI use their house?
I don't think too many would actually let the FBI use their home to spy on their best friend.
Their next-door neighbors.
The next door neighbor. Oh, the next door neighbor. I would say about 51.
51 would let the FBI use the house, Becky.
I think it's probably a little bit higher.
Higher. The actual number of people who would let the FBI use their house to spy on their neighbors is 47. It is the higher Boston. And again, making a good choice, Boston. You start with a 7.
I would like to change that card, please.
Next card off the top of the deck is a queen.
Okay, great. The next card is lower.
Lower than a queen. Oh no, it's a king. It is not lower. Big break for the champion. Becky will play an ace.
That's a good one. The next card is lower.
Lower than an ace. Yes, a 7 now. You got a big decision. You're right up the middle.
Freeze. I'm going to freeze.
You're going to freeze it. Becky needs 1 card. Boston needs 2. Someone's going to get a crack at the money cards. Becky, we asked 100 people in Portland, Maine. Do you owe anybody any money? How many people in Maine said they did owe somebody money?
I don't know any people that don't, so I would say about 97.
97 people in Portland, Maine owe somebody money.
I know there are quite a few people who owe money, but I think it would be just a little lower.
Lower.
Right.
The actual number of people in Maine who owe somebody money is 55. It's much lower. Boston. You want that queen?
I want to keep that card. And the next card is going to be lower.
Lower.
Right.
Lower. All right. You want to turn the microphone around, Boston, so we can hear you there?
Oh, thank you. I'm a little
very much,
excited.
sir. I know you want to get comfortable.
Right.
Lower than a queen. Yes, a 2.
All right. Higher.
For the championship, higher. It is. We have a new champion. Becky, you are leading with $11,700.
I can't complain about that. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Becky Greenfield, Boston, come on down here. Can't believe it, huh? Congratulations. Boston is not only going to prove he's the best teacher, he's going to make the most money ever right after this. I hope so. Back with our new champion, Willie Boston, and again, our congratulations. You a gambler, Boston?
Sometime, not often. You know, being married with a family, you can't afford to gamble too much.
Good thinking. Let's see if we can make some money for the family right now. Let's get to the money cards. Come on up here. Well, you won $200 in the game. Yours to keep. Now we're going to give you a brand new deck of cards, all shuffled and cut. New money to play with, and you're going to bet it. Starting on the bottom line, we'll give you $200 in 3 cards. Move up to the second level, we give you another $200 of betting money. 3 more cards. Your minimum bets, remember, are $50 until you get to the top card, the big bet, where you must bet at least half the money. We want you to take it away. Here's $200.
Right.
As in the game, you have a choice of 2 base cards to start with. Remember, you can change your base card when you move to the second level, and you can change your base card before you make the big bet. We're going to start off with right now. Oh, yes, a 2.
Oh, yes. I'll bet the whole thing that the next card is higher.
The whole thing.
Right.
$200.
$200 higher.
Higher than a 2. It is a 10.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to bet 10s are not too good to me. I'm going to bet $100 the next card is lower.
$100 bet.
Right.
Lower than a 10. No, it's a king. Got a better card out of it, though, Boston.
All right. I'm going to bet all of it that the next card is higher. I mean lower. Lower. Still excited. Lower.
Okay, lower.
Right.
$300 lower than a king. Yes, with a 5. Up goes the 5. We'll give you the other $200 of betting money. You've got $800. Do you want the 5?
I think I would like to change that 5.
See if we can make a better change to a jack.
Yes. I'm going to bet $400 that the next card is lower.
Big bet, half of the money on a jack.
Right. The next card is lower.
$400 lower than a jack? No. Doc Queen, you're down to 400, looking at a queen.
Okay, I'm going to bet $400 that the next card is lower.
This one's got to be there. $400 bet lower than a queen. Yeah! Now you're looking. $800 and a 7.
Right.
2 cards to go.
Okay, 7 is not too good to me, Jim. I'm going to bet again $100 that the next card is higher.
$100
Right.
higher than a 7. No, it's a 3. But it gives you a pretty good card to move up there for the big bet, Boston.
All
You've got a 3.
Okay, I'm going to bet the whole thing that the next card is higher. Higher.
Everything.
Right.
Big bet.
Yes, higher.
$700.
Has to be.
Nothing or $1,400 higher than a 3. It is.
Yeah.
Good comeback.
Yay.
It's not bad. You had 2 cards fail you, and you come out of it with $1,400.
Right. No.
Come on down here. And with the $200 in the game, that's $1,600.
Great.
We'll meet a new challenger right after we take time out for this, so don't go away.